Thought it made like a little nice announcement. I guess not. It just starts recording. Okay, good. So yeah, in the chat, I'm going to paste in the notes as I take them. You can see them. They're the same every day. Okay, cool. So here we go. All right, so yesterday where we left off, we got the two bots. You know, we got our fax bot, we got our offer bot, we got our website. We got it dialed in with custom variables for fun. We added a page. We added a footer. We added policy and terms, all that good stuff. So this is good to go. Okay. One last thing. If you want to change your background, all you gotta do is go here. You can actually, it's very fun. You can search through like Unsplash and Pixabay and stuff to find some if you want. I found mine online because I wanted a nicer one or just a different one, I guess. But that's how you would change that if you want to really dial this in. And that's how you can do any niche. If you want to do electric or you want to do plumbing or HVAC or a studio or a location for a coupon, whatever the coupon is, you can change your background to match. Okay, cool. All right, so now we got to make this bot work. Our homework, or what I have to do from yesterday, is over here on the left. We're working, so we have the fax bot, which is very simple. Name, phone, email, and then goes right into booking. So I think we were doing that. There might have been something wrong with booking because I said fix calendar. So let me do that real quick. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go to GoHighLevel. Just double check my calendars real quick. Go to my calendars. You remember we wrote down the permalinks for each calendar. So I know that the fax bot uses general booking. I'm going to copy that. I got my general. The fax bot is a live chat bot. So let me change this to say live so you can see, but this is actually the fax bot. And I can't share these, so I don't know why I'm changing it, but you'll see it in the video. And I am thinking of a way to share these bot builds with you graphically, like just kind of recreating these because these are just flowcharts, these things, right? So anyway, okay, cool. So it comes in, it asks if you have any questions. It asks up to 3 times. You could ask anything you want. It gets their name, phone, email, so we can contact them later. It's like an opt-in form, lead magnet, whatever you want. Then it tries to book them. So here's the general booking calendar. Remember, we don't need these permalinks anymore. So I wrote these down in case you want to switch them, which we're going to do here in the other bot. Okay. So this is hooked up to general booking. So let's give this a try real quick. All I got to do, I'm going to open up a new incognito window because I want to test live chat. And it just, for somehow, it just works better in an incognito window rather than, it's hard to cache out the live chat widget, only live chat widget, not if it's running on Facebook Messenger or SMS or email, anything else. And that's a GoHighLevel thing, not a CloseBot thing. How can I help you? Can you paint my house? So this is also a GoHighLevel thing, this instant response. I'll tell you that version 2 of CloseBot is going to have a built-in web chat widget, so you don't even need to use GoHighLevels. Okay, do you have any specific questions about the house painting services? Are you eco-friendly? Remember we told it that we're eco-friendly, so it should say yes. It's going to also, then it's going to start asking my name. You could also ask for the name first and then ask why they're there. There's schools of thought as to which is more effective. I kind of like asking a question first and then getting a name sometimes. So here it is. By the way, may I ask who I have the pleasure of speaking with? Sure, Josh Rosenfeld. This is running really quick. This is a fast bot. It's almost so fast right now that you could actually put a throttle on the bot, which you can do in CloseBot. You can put a wait step on it. So here's going to ask, nice to meet you, Josh. Can I give you a call? Remember, we're asking for the phone number. Next thing it's going to ask for is 977-938-3838. Next thing it's going to ask for is an email address. So I'll just do Josh at whatever.com. There probably is a whatever.com. I'll just make it like, I don't want someone to get a test email named Josh in some company randomly and be like, what's up? All right, here we go. Here's your email address, and now it's going to go into booking. Should work great. Very simple bot. Very, very simple bot. But if it's good, then we'll move on to we'll finish up the second bot. And then we'll see if we can get it more channels like Facebook. Here we go. So perfect. Thanks for sharing that. How about we schedule a 15-minute Zoom call? Sure. It's doing it, right? So 9 a.m. is fine. Now I'm not connecting it. So so this is going on the general booking calendar. And the one thing I didn't do is I didn't connect it to my calendar, which you link to, if you go to integrations, you'll notice if you sign in with Google, that's how I connect to my calendar, my email, and all this stuff. You just do it right here, and that'll show up in there, and you can connect it to a calendar. But it works without connecting to a calendar for testing purposes. You'd also connect it. You can connect this to your client's calendar, right? So you give, yeah. So you connect this to your client's calendar. They'd be the one of the admins of their own sub account is how it works. If you don't go high level, you give your clients access to their own sub accounts for purposes of integration, right? Okay, cool. So now let's look at the chat here. Fantastic. It sent a meeting invite. Great. It's cool. So the general fax bot works. Very simple. One thing we can do is let's look at this bot real quick. So here's our general fax bot. Any questions? Name 3 times, phone up to 3 times, email up to 3 times. Let's have it always try to book them. Meaning I'm going to turn off max attempts. I'm just going to keep trying to book and book and book. Why not? It's the end of the flow, right? They can just stop chatting if they don't like it. What I'm not going to do is you could also do this. It's so cheap. I mean, I run unlimited bots to test them, to show people. It costs you like $5 a month. It's really not a big deal. So I don't turn the bot off when all the objectives are done. You can switch that on. So when booking is done, the bot would never respond again. But it's like a demo for everyone. So I wanted to be able to keep talking to the bot. It's going to still act like the Painter bot. So I leave it on. You don't have to do that. Okay, so cool. That bot's done. Any questions? Any questions? No? Cool. Great. Let's go. All right. Now we have our second bot, our offer bot, which is kind of looks like our main bot, right? Because it's attached to our form. So we need to work on that. So looks like we have the calendar working here. So knock that. So I'm going to move this here. We fixed the calendar. We finished and tested this bot. Finished, tested, past tense. It's so cool. All right. So now we're going to, we need to write the automation for this form so we can start testing it. We're not done with this bot here, but we'll do that also. I just want to get, actually, I'm not going to, let me finish this up real quick. So now let's do this. Finish offer bot flow. Okay, so let's do that right now. All right, so we have our flow here. We have all our custom variables set up. If you've been with us for a couple of days, you saw me set up a bunch of custom variables in CloseBot. I mean, in GoHighLevel, excuse me, for purposes of using with this bot. Where is it? All these Picasso ones, morning, afternoon, square foot estimate, right? The offer bot is going to ask that. So here's the offer bot. So the first thing it does, based on our flow chart, it's going to come in and say, was the offer good? If they say yes, it's going to go on. But if they say no, here's what I did to deal with no. This is going to be kind of cool. If they say no, I'm going to give them a low rating from 0 to 100. It means it doesn't pass. So it's going to continue with this objective and continue. If it doesn't pass, it doesn't go through the objective. So that the sensitivity is how it judges if it passes or not. I've never set it other than 50. You can play with this. As an aside, if you set it to 99, it's good for yes, no checkboxes where there's no if, ands, or buts. It's either yes or no. There's no ambiguity. But I don't touch this. But anyway, I'm going to give this a low rating. So if someone says no, it's going to say, sorry to hear that. How about we chat and see if the quote is good for you? We have the best prices in town. And then what I added in the prompt is the offer starts at 50% off, but you can negotiate with them to get to yes and go up by 1% or 2% until you get to 21% off, no higher. So this bot's going to auto negotiate with the person automatically, or at least that's what I hope. That's what it does. And that's a really good technique that a salesperson would do it in real time. A human would do that. The bot's going to do it in one step. Okay. Then it's going to go in. It's going to ask, we did this already. Do they want a morning or afternoon appointment? And this is mapped to the morning or afternoon multi-line single select field, custom field we made with morning and afternoon options, right? And then it asks, what's the square foot of the to be painted. Very simple question. This is not a fully accurate estimate, obviously, but you're going to see what happens. And this stores it to square foot. Then it's going to go into the estimate. Oh, I mean, the switches. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's going to go. So it's going to wait a second. So I added this in yesterday and last night without you guys. So after it asks these questions, here's what I like to do. I like to have it wait a second and ask if they mind while I check the calendar and make sure that all these fields are selected and whatnot. Just like you in routing, it's helpful to ask a question after you do something. I've also found it helpful to do that after you set fields. You may not need it, you may, but that's why you see it here. So come to think about it, I'm not going to use it this second, but I have it ready. So I'm going to go right into the estimate. It's going to ask these two.
So this is like a delay node.
It's a delay that I just added because sometimes it's helpful. It's very helpful after it does a long GPT query, like do an estimate. I have really complicated window washing estimates, let's say. It could take a long time, and it'll ask the next objective question before it's had a chance to calculate. So I'll use this wait, give info step to kind of wait. I'm not going to use it this second. I decided to put it off to the side, but yes, it's a little hacky wait kind of thing. It's actually not a hacky wait. That's what a give info step is. You know, it just says something and it waits till they say something. It doesn't store it anywhere. It's a very simple little objective that's reasonably recent, frankly. Okay, so it's going to give the estimate. And the prompting is very simple. Give them a price estimate for painting their house. And here's the little prompting I wrote. To estimate the cost to paint at lead name, that's the variable that CloseBot uses. To estimate the cost to paint Josh's house, multiply the square footage. And it knows that because it just came in, you know, just asked them that. And the bot remembers what it said. By $10 a square foot. I say, do not give the estimate till it's complete because I know that sometimes it'll say, hold on a second. And if you don't respond, it won't respond back with the estimate. So I don't like it to do that. And then I also like it to push the conversation forward because sometimes it'll say, here's your estimate. Unless you say, awesome, it's not going to respond. So I like to end it with another question. Okay, it's going to store that variable to the estimate field. And then all we have to do is make a switcher to use the right calendar variable. Okay. So I'll do that. And here's where I do want a wait step. And the reason is because when you're doing a separate workflow in GoHighLevel, which we're going to make, it takes a second sometimes. And again, CloseBot's going too fast. So if you figure out a way to make it wait, which we're about to do, it's very helpful. So I'm going to do wait. I'm sorry. I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to do wait. I'm going to take this thanks thing out for a second. I'm going to do wait. And then here's going to be booking. Calendar. I'm just going to set this up now. So I'm going to click the calendar field so it'll automatically know what I'm doing. I do not want to choose a specific calendar at the moment. Actually, I need to set up the field for this. So let me see if I set up the field already. I didn't set up the field, I don't think. Yeah, so I need to set up one more custom field. It's going to be a single line text input. I'm going to call it service calendar. You can call it calendar, whatever you want. I just like service calendar because it makes sense for a service industry. I save it in Picasso. Save. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to save the right custom variable into the service calendar variable using a workflow. Okay. And let's get that ready. Okay, cool. So this is going to be amazing. Watch this. This is new as of like last week. So I'm going to save this real quick. I don't know if it's going to save that booking step or not, but I wanted to see the custom field. So this new custom field I just made, all I got to do is copy it, the unique key, and then this is brand new, guys. So on the booking step, I'm going to do calendar. Select this first because it'll change the name. You don't want to mess it up. So hit calendar. It's going to change it, booking. And this is book the painting, or yeah, book the appointment with lead name. And then where it says other, so again, it shows you all your calendars that are attached to your, well, it should. It's annoying. So what I'm going to do is you select the calendar other. It should show you all the rest of your calendars in GoHighLevel, and it's not. I don't know why. I think that's just a minor bug because this is so new, but that's irrelevant because it'll do other. I'm going to paste in the calendar ID that I just copied from the custom field. This is amazing. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to save it. So what that means is that I can now dynamically change the custom field in GoHighLevel whether or not they'd said morning or afternoon appointment over here. It's very, very simple. Okay. So let's set that up. See, there it is. So if I hit up, so this time I just hit refresh. There's the rest of my calendar. So if you choose other, is how you enter this custom variable, and it didn't save. So be aware of that. It's slightly a little bit of a UI thing. And here's another little trick I learned. So they'll fix this. If you put something in here and you don't see the save going off, you kind of got like an add a space. See that turned out? Once I added a space after this prompt and hit backspace, it saw that this changed. And that's just a minor bug in here because it was just released last week. So Bryce knows about it. I told him already. Okay, cool. So I'm going to save that. All right, now our bot's set up. We need to do one more thing, a couple things. So let's see, finish tested text. So we finished the offer bot flow. Now let's write the morning. Let's write the calendar switcher right now. So on GoHighLevel, I'm going to go to automations and I'm going to go, I like to store it in V4. I'll do create workflow, start from scratch. I'll say tool. I'll call this, since I have lots of switchers and routers, we'll call it switcher calendars. Okay, so the switch on so the trigger on this is going to be when the contact changed. So whenever the contact changes, and what we're looking for is the field morning. Oh, sorry, excuse me, morning or afternoon. So if this field ever changes, if it changes at all, meaning they answered the question, is going to change it because it's blank when it starts. It's going to change to morning or after or afternoon or whatever it is, and that'll trigger this workflow, right? So I'm going to save that trigger. So now this is so simple. All I want to do is do an if else. Okay, and we're going to call it calendar selector. You can call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter. So this is the branch. This is if then loops. This is if then conditionals and GoHighLevel. So I'm going to call this branch morning calendar. You can call it whatever you want. And then I'm going to do contact details. So there's custom fields on here. So if I type in morning, afternoon. So if morning afternoon is morning, it's going to make a morning path. And I'm going to duplicate this real quick, save some time. Call it afternoon calendar. So now if it's afternoon, right? That's it. Don't worry about the none branch. It's irrelevant for purposes of our exercise. And it's saved. So now I have two columns. And so this if then conditional is going to switch based on what the contact changed to. And let me title this better for y'all. We'll call it morning, afternoon, field updated. There you go. Okay, cool. All right, now I'm gonna publish that and I'll save it and then we'll keep going to build it. So this is really, really simple. All I got to do, and we're going to use these permalinks we wrote down a couple days ago. So I'm going to go to my morning calendar. I'm going to update a contact field. Update contact field, and guess what contact field I'm going to update? Service calendar. And I'm going to update it with what? The morning calendar is here. There's that morning permalink. Paste. And I'll call it set morning calendar, whatever. And now to make it easier, I'll just copy that action over to here, open it up, tweak it a bit, set afternoon calendar, change the service calendar to this permalink so it goes on the right calendar. And then I'm going to save it, paste in, save the action. That's all I need to do. So that is the calendar switcher. Boom. Right now, what else happens? So it switches the calendar, it does a calculation. Oh wait, I did have these scheduling things here. My bad. Sorry, folks. I don't need this in here. So these are wrong. I'm going to take these out. I was wondering what was up. All right, cool. And that goes like that. Then that goes like that. And that goes like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so the booking is using this custom field, which we're setting now, right? I'm setting this with that little workflow we made. So that's how it's going to be up to date. So let's do this thing. Let's test it. We're going to test it for real. Yeah, I'm going to test it for real. So I'm going to need to do another, well, I can't, I got to, so in order to test the offer bot for real, we need to do, we need to do this because it's an email bot. Remember, this is an email form. So we need to make the automation now. So write calendar switcher workflow, done. GHL. Now we need to write, well, writing's not the right word. Create. I guess you write it, whatever. Write the offer form automation. Okay, cool. So now in GoHighLevel, I'm gonna make another workflow. I'm gonna take it, yeah, I'll just put it all in this CloseBot folder. I'm gonna do, actually no, I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna start from scratch. We'll call this form offer. Okay, and so the trigger on this is going to be a form is submitted. Form submitted. Form is we only have one form, lead gen form. I'll change that to 50% off form, but that is what that form is. Actually, let me do that right now so it matches. 1 second, please. Boom, ba-doom. Go to sites, forms, edit. Offer form. There we go. It'll save everywhere else. Okay, cool. Now, let me refresh this real quick so I can see it. Okay, so the trigger is going to be form submitted. Form is offer form. Cool. Okay, so offer form. Let me write that in here for everybody. Offer form submitted. Okay, so the next thing it's going to do, so the offer form is making a new contact and is bringing in the name, phone, and email. And then we want to trigger the offer bot, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to update the contact field. We're going to send an override message. So I'm going to update the contact field. Actually, I need to do two things. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that in CloseBot on each contact, a few people went. So on each contact, CloseBot put some fields in here. One of them is this one, the last communication type. See, it says chat. That's because I was using the live chat widget, right? So I'm going to change it to email. I'm going to manually change it to email. Usually it's CloseBot sets this itself. I'm going to show you how to do it manually. Okay. So I'm going to do update contact field, and I'm just going to find my last last communication type. So pull down, you can't really mess it up. So I'm going to do set last type to email. So now I know it's going to do an email. Now I want to make the bot talk. I want to do an override message. We talked about how when you send an override message, there's a tool that comes with the workflows and GoHighLevel from CloseBot that will send the message in whatever channel it thinks it should be sending the message out onto the client or to the lead, and then it will know what it said. So if you send like, hey, do you want 20%, do you want 20% off? And if they say maybe, the bot would never know what they were talking about unless it did this override message, which is why you shouldn't send an SMS message step in the workflow to trigger a CloseBot bot. You can do combo hybrid things, but we're not doing that now, okay? So I'm going to update a contact field. I'm going to update the field bot override message here. And I'm going to say something simple like, it's a single line. So, hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, first name. I'm going to click this here. I'm going to go to find the contact's first name. So that's the field on the contact. That's how you add custom fields. If you see this icon anywhere, you can put in a custom field or variable right there. Hey, Josh, how about that offer? Looking good to you? Let me know. I'm going to say save that action. Let me title this. So this is send override message. Okay, save. Let me publish this puppy. Okay, publish. Oh, we got to do one more thing, folks. Allow re-entry. If you don't do that, I'll be trying to test this thing and thinking it's broken, but it's not broken. But let's say you have a form for like a big sale. You may not want people coming through the form more than once. So that's how you would prevent that. One way you prevent that, okay? So now let's run this bad boy. Okay, so all we got to do is go here, refresh this for a second, make sure it loads up the right name form, which it will. So I'm going to say my name is Michael Scott. Did I spell Michael? I just forgot to spell Michael. Okay, my email address. Now I want to use my real email address because I want to see what it's doing here. So this is my main marketing address. I don't care who sees it. I'm not doing any text messaging. You could, right? You just set the last com type to SMS and do an override message and it would just go to SMS. But we're doing email, but I want their phone number, of course. So I'll just type in a random number. And then it won't continue unless they agree to these terms. I'm going to roll over it. I can see that the URL is correct, so I know it's good. So I'm going to claim my discount. Let's see what happens when I do the form. We've never even done this yet. They just blinked out. And here, let's find out why. We haven't even tried this form yet, folks. Go to sites, open up. Oh, I got to get rid of this one pager. We don't need it. In the landing page, open up the home page. Here, I just want to see what that form says. So the way the form works is when you submit a form. I haven't even looked at this form to see what it's supposed to do, actually. So when you submit a form and you can see what it does, when you click off of the form, if you click on an element, it's going to bring up the info for the element. But if you click off of the form on an empty space and hit this styles and options, it has all sorts of stuff. Like inline form makes it smaller. I don't mind that, to be honest with you. So I'm going to save that. Show or hide label, full screen mode, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about all this stuff. But it does do one thing. Oh, I do want to do sticky. I do want, so you can turn on or off agency branding, right? So I'm going to turn this off. And then you can change the themes. I don't want to mess with that. Options. I want sticky contact. That means that every time someone comes back to this form, their information will already be pre-filled. Just makes it a little bit easier. Enable time zone, obviously. So here's what it's going to do. Here's why this isn't working. So when this form is submitted, the template I used to make this, it was querying a value. We don't need to do that. What I wanted to do is I wanted to make just send a message that just says, and we're going to do, the font color is going to be, I think white. I think I want it white because if it's black, you won't see it because it's on black. Cool. Dun, 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 dun. Save, save, save. So that's what it's going to do. Now let's check to see if I may have came through the workflow. So I'm going to look at the automation and look at the enrollment history real quick to see if I came through it. If it did, I'll look at my email. I could also look at my email, I suppose. Maybe I'll do that too. Yep, it did it. So here's my email. And it's coming from Rosenfeld Marketing because I did not set up Picasso Paint's email. I didn't want to pay for it. I didn't want to do a tutorial on it, but obviously you'd use your own email with your sub account to make sure it's the client's name or it's your right domain name, but it works. It says, "Hey, Michael," because I said my name was Michael Scott. "Hey, Michael, how about that offer? Looking good to you? Let me know." Let's do the happy path, meaning we're going to say yes, 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 yes. Much easier to test. I'm going to say, yes, I'm interested. So now we're testing the bot and we wait. And while we do that, well, I'm not going to test this form again. I know it's going to work, but the bot's working. So the override message went out. And now one thing I like about email is this, and I've just realized this in the last couple of weeks. It's very realistic. Your guard's not up when you're getting an email. Like, I know this is coming from a bot because I made it, but like, it seems really personable for some reason, rather than a text message, because you get so many text messages. I don't know. It's just, there's something about it. Okay, a new email came in. Fantastic. I'm thrilled to hear that. We'll make sure to cover all the details and answer your questions. See you Thursday at 8:30. Wow, it's scheduled for me. Let's find out why. All right. So I'm going to go to, here's how you troubleshoot. So I'm going to go to the bot. I'm going to go to the dashboard. Oh, my fault. I know why. It's on the wrong bot. Duh. All right, cool. So I never did this. I never routed to the offer bot yet. So what I need to do is on process message is how I switch bots. I don't even think I switched bots yet. Okay, so now we need to do the next step. Create bot router. What time is it? Perfect. Create bot router. So this is super important. This, if you want to make a bot route, here's how you do it, right? So what I'm going to do is, okay, so watch. So this is an if-then condition. This is an if-then conditional that says CloseBot will look for this tag called AI off. If AI off is on a contact, it will not process the message. It will not message them. So if you don't want any of your contacts to be messaged by the bot and just never be touched by them, put AI off tag on there. So what I want to do is underneath this yes here, this is yes, it has the bot on. It's good to go. I want to make a new conditional, if else. And this is going to be the bot router. One bot is going to be the offer bot, right? And what we're going to do here is I'm going to do, this is an if then. So I want to do, I'm going to look for a tag. So I'm going to say if tag, if I can do contact details, you got to go to tags here, includes, and I'm going to add a new tag and I'm going to call it offer or bot offer. So the naming convention is good, right? Will not do that. Oh, I can't do the colon offer bot. Okay, hold on one second. Sorry. Okay, let me go to the contact really quickly and add a tag and add two tags. Let's see. Oh, wait, I want to do this. Sorry, I'm gonna just do I'm doing this. Don't mind what I'm doing here. I'm just doing add tag flow because I know I can make a tag this way. So I'm just gonna do bot offer. I'm gonna add that tag just as I wanted in the system. Do it again, and then I want to do bot fax. So now we have two different bot tags just so we can route. Okay. This is just one way to route. You can route by looking for field changes. You can route by all sorts of different conditionals, but this is the one way I'm going to do it. I don't actually want to do I don't want to do that. I just was doing that to make a tag. So now again, under the yes, the AI is on, I'm going to do a conditional. If else, bot router. And then this is going to be the offer bot. I'm going to do tags. It's so annoying. You got to go to contact details and kind of scroll down to find tags. So tags includes bot offer. See it? Okay. I got to save the action. Or no, sorry. So now there's a none branch. Remember, there's always a none branch on these conditionals. Usually you leave them empty. We're not going to leave it empty. Well, we're not going to leave it empty because I'll show you what we're going to do. So we're going to call this one fax bot. So when the conditional is triggered, when it comes down here, if it doesn't include bot offer, that means the conditional failed. So it's going to go down the none branch. But as I'll show you in a second, we're going to have a bot go down the none branch too. So here's our offer bot. And what I'm going to do is watch. This is how you do it. So I'm going to copy all these actions. I'm going to put them here. I'm going to get rid of these two actions. I don't need them. I'm going to add a go to. Makes it a little more elegant because they all wind up in the same place. Okay, cool. So now this offer bot webhook, I need to make sure this is the 4 fields that the webhook is for hitting up CloseBot. There's a bunch of other things you can actually use that CloseBot will recognize. One of them is bot. Okay. I'm going to type in bot and I'm going to find out the bot number for my offer bot. It's 7390. I'm going to just type in 7390. I also like to put it in up here, you know, just to make it a little bit easier for everyone as they look at my workflow, because this is the programming, right, of your bot. Save that. Now I need to do same thing here, bot, and just find out the the bot number for my fax bot, which is 7388. Okay. Okay, so that's how you route. Oh yeah, let's just put a little note up here in the title so everyone can see it. Cool. So now what I need to do is when someone does this workflow, all I got to do, so right now the bot is automatically going to be triggered on the live chat. with no tag on it. I'm not adding the offer. I'm not adding the bot fax bot. I'm not adding the bot fax tag. I don't need it. I could add it, but I'm not using it. Okay. So watch what I'm going to do. So in this form offer trigger, all I want to do is I want to make sure the right bot gets triggered. So all I got to do is add a tag. And I'm going to say, and I'm going to add the tag bot offer. Oop, there we go. I'm going to save that. Let's see, add bot offer. You can call whatever you want. Your tags, name them however you need to. If you're naming conventions. Okay, now it'll work. Okay, let's do this again. Let me blast out my contact. I like to start them over sometimes. Michael Scott. There I am. Get out of here. Okay. Here we go. And also, we're going to see if the form worked better because we changed, it should bring up a little note. So it's a little bit shorter, which is good. It doesn't need to be a super long form. So Michael Scott, here's my email. I can see why you might want it on 2 lines. Emails are kind of long, but whatever, it works fine. There's this. I have to agree. Claim my discount. Now this time you should see it say thank you. Okay, I see. So it's white on white. No problem. So the color was off. So I just need to do this. So the forms, it's going through right now. I'll get an email in a second. But while I'm waiting, let me just mess with my form for a second to get rid of that tiny error. I go to my form builder. I click on offer form. I'm bringing up the default settings. I'm going to options, and this is where you change the message. So the background should be 0, should be transparent. There we go. So now the background is going to be transparent, and the font's going to be white. And let's make it bold. And then we'll do this again. See? Great. Okay. So good. We're great. So now I should be getting emails. Maybe 2 emails. But just one. Let's see. Gmail. Boom. How about that offer? Looking good. And I'll say, yes, I'm interested. We're going down the happy path. Okay. So wait a sec. Let's see what else we can do. We got to finish up tomorrow, this whole thing. So we created the bot router. We're testing bot. And creating the bot router was using an if created a conditional. This is a really important step, the bot router. And then set bot parameter for each webhook. Okay, I got an email. Fantastic. Do you want to dive into the details? See how this offer can make your house shine? Yeah, I would. Boom. Send that puppy out. So testing, as you're going to see, testing, well, you're not going to see because we don't have enough time, but testing takes forever to dial in a bot, especially if it's complicated. And the reason we're not testing in this test bot, you can, but this bot is setting fields and it's got dynamic variables and all this stuff, and that won't work in the testing widget in the bot in CloseBot because it's not connected to a contact, so it won't work as well. But it'll try to fake it, and there are ways to do cool testing in using this test widget by just sometimes I'll move objectives to the front just to test that one objective over and over and over. So that's a good tip. But this is what it looks like. All right, so now I got another message from the bot. It should say, "When's a good time for me to chat about the details?" Although it didn't say, well, let's see what it says. How about tomorrow afternoon? And then I'm going to look at the dashboard for the offer bot and make sure that the offer bot is what's talking right now. It is. So it should be going down the path. I don't know why it asked me for the time right now. It should have said, see, offer good. So it may ask me for square foot now. Huh. Interesting. All right, that didn't work as expected. No problem. We're almost done with this class, so we just got to make this thing work. Find out if the offer is good enough to book an appointment now. Let me look at the, so now another way to look at what's going on is I can go to, I want to go to my step 2 in CloseBot. This is where all the magic happens. And I want to look to see what happened. So if I go to execution logs, so there's Michael Scott going through 741. So this is recently. So here's this if else conditional, right? So there's the first one, which is if they have AI on off. Here's the second one, and it did have the bot offer, right? So it's true. So it went down here, then it went to this webhook, and it went down, the webhook that we wanted. How about tomorrow afternoon? Roof workflow, add a workflow, roof. So that's doing its thing where it's adding it to the follow-up workflow. Okay, so that looked good. Why did you not work? Let's see here. So for testing, so what goal is it on? It's on he's interested in the offer but does not confirm it. And that's not accurate because I did say sounds great, right? Look good to you. Yes, I'm interested. Find out the offer is good. Doesn't have an answer. So it's something with how it's rating whether or not it thinks we had a good offer. Plus, when you're troubleshooting, you can just roll over these green checks here and it tells you, at least did when Bryce was doing it. Sometimes it tells you a little bit more, but okay, so I said yes, I'm interested, and it was from an override message. Uh I said I'm interested. Okay, so what we need to do is it's being very touchy. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to step 1 of the objective and just look at it because it's being really, really touchy. Here's why. Okay, it's working perfectly. Ask if the offer is good enough to book an appointment right now. That's why it's asking before I wanted to, book an appointment. Do you want to book an appointment? So we need to tweak this very first question it asked. So the override message said, hey, does this offer look good? You want to proceed? Find out if they are ready to proceed with the offer. That's it. The extra prompt says the offer starts at 50% off, but you can negotiate. Okay, so so the sensitivity is fine. If they say no, sorry to hear that. Okay, let's try it again. And we're going to test it slightly differently because it's going to be faster. So since it's the first objective, I am going to test it in the tester bot because I know it's going to work well. Okay. So I like to refresh. I like to hit reset. I'll say hi to it. Actually, I'm not going to say hi to it. I'm going to say, well, I can't say the offer is good because it doesn't know why because the override message didn't trigger this. But so I'll just say, sure. Let's see what it does. And this is in response to the override message, which is, hey, does the offer look good for you? So now it's going into, so it's interesting. So it took sure as the answer, yes, to is the offer good. And I know this because it went into the next question about morning or afternoon. So I'm going to say morning. Okay, so now I know this is working. So if I say morning, let's just do the whole flow. So fast. You show the dimensions, right? It's doing the dimensions. Sure, we'll say it's 100 square feet, which should be $1,000, right? Which is a really good business model.
I'm curious, Josh, how do you how would you manage this if you wanted to like make this more of like choose your own adventure for the user, where it
Good
wasn't
question.
like get an estimate and then do an appointment or vice versa,
Any
or
way you want,
just
any way
they
you can
choose.
imagine it, you can do it. This is just how I'm doing this build. There's no right or wrong, man. If
But
you
with the
want to,
priorities set up like that, would
it's
you have the
just
same?
you have priorities, and that's really the only flow you have from it's going to go through these priorities and then move on only after they're passed, right? So that's the constraints there. And then it's what you can do with workflows to turn, skip goals, and there's ways to skip goals and stuff. Like I said in CloseBot, on the contact, all those things that are goals, like good afternoon, morning, square foot, all these things for every bot that's connected to this account. So it does get unwieldy. It can get unwieldy. So you keep good track of your variables. It's good to document stuff. See, all of these objectives become goals accomplished. So I know that it said when I said sure, the offer is good. It just said that is an okay answer for it. So it checked off goals accomplished, and it won't ask that objective again. So you could pre-check off goals accomplished based on other answers. So if they answer, I want a morning appointment, you could have had two calendars and turned off the afternoon calendar, and vice versa. And there's a
Right.
million ways to get to whatever you need to do. Okay. Okay.
Got it. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is just my way. I mean, Bryce does things a way, I do it a way, other people do it a different way. This usually works okay. So let's keep testing here. So 1,000 square feet, the painting magic will come to $1,000. Is that okay? Because I said drive the conversation. That's the right estimate. Yes. Now, what it's not going to do is the workflow step to switch to calendar, but I'm confident it's going to work. So I'm confident this bot is like almost done. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is tomorrow we will finalize bot. I might hook it up to a Facebook page, maybe, because I hate chatting in live chat. We're gonna do Q&A, and then we'll we will tighten up the snapshot and share it. So you'll all have what I built in GoHighLevel, all of it. Okay. I can't share CloseBot snapshots yet, but that's coming soon. All right, so here it goes. So it asks, I want it to wait. Do you want to, I'm going to check do you mind if I check my calendar? I'm going to say, go for it. So it's acting exactly as we want it. But the one thing I've been learning through just tons of testing with different kinds of bots, it is so sensitive. This prompt here is so sensitive, right? Like that's actually a wrong instance. That the very first prompt you do for each objective is so sensitive that you change one word, it's going to completely change. It could completely change the whole conversation. So start as simple as you can, which is one thing. Don't do a sub prompt. Don't do any of those, yes, no answer stuff underneath. Don't do that. Just try to do it with the prompts. And then sometimes I'll focus on a prompt. You'll learn how to build and test on your own. Because like I said, if you have a real client and you don't want to let it out the door without it being really perfect, that takes a lot of testing, and it's going to get better. And I'm going to figure out ways to automate testing with like bots talking to your bot and using virtual assistants to do the work, obviously. But doing estimate stuff, if you have an estimate calculator, you got to run it 50 times just to verify that it works. Now it's doing a calendar booking based on time. Then you got to test that, right? Then it sends out a link for payment. Then you got to test that. So just know. That's why I didn't go crazy with this painter bot, but you could. So it's going to say we're all booked up. And the reason is because it doesn't do conversational booking. So let's give it a try one more time. We have a few minutes here. Let's erase my contact and start over. And erase Michael Scott. So if you'll notice on Josh Rosenfeld, this is the person this is me when I came in through live chat. The appointment book tag was added by CloseBot. So you could have another workflow that looks for that as a trigger to send like an email. Let's do that. Watch, this would be cool. I'll do this for fun. So I'll created client summary workflow. We'll do this for the last 5 minutes. It's so easy. So now watch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new automation. I'm going to call it create workflow, and I'll call it client summary. And the trigger is going to be tag added, contact tag added, and it's at AI appointment booked because that comes with CloseBot. Real easy. Oops. Let me do this. Let's see. Appointment. AI appointment. Book tag added. That's the trigger. And all I got to do is I'm going to send an internal notification. to the account holder. So to the user type, this is where you can select which user of GoHighLevel. If you have like different salesmen or a service calendar or a routing thing in GoHighLevel, this is where you'd set that. You can, right now I'm the only user in my account. Actually, it's just Picasso. There's no users in this account because it's not a real account. So this is where you would send a notification. So I'm going to do an email notification to myself so you can see. So it's going to come from Josh Rosenfeld, and I'm going to do the from email at Rosenfeld Marketing, not Painter Picasso Paints, because I don't have that email and it'll come through as spam. If I don't, okay. So to user, I'm going to do a custom email. So I want to see this, but you'd send this to your client. So this custom email, you put in like, bob@client.com. So they'll get this summary after every appointment is booked, okay? So I'm going to send it to me. The subject is going to be appointment booked. Boom. Put a fun little emoji in there. It's not working well, emojis. There we go. Appointment booked. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, hey, I'm going to say appointment booked with, and then I'm going to do the custom value with contact full name, appointment book with so-and-so. Then I'll do date, and I'll do custom value, appointment, start date, and then I'll do the start time. I'll start date time works good too. Date and time. There's a date time, and I'll say email, the client's email in there so they can contact them if they want. Phone number. 1 second, you're gonna see where all the magic comes in. Now watch this. This is sick. So I'm gonna go make a little break here. Go summary. Nice. Then CloseBot has the custom field that gets populated throughout the whole conversation, just keeps appending to itself. And that's called response. What's it called? Not bot laser summary. What is it? Hold on, sorry. It is called message history. Okay, so if you load the message history, the client will see the whole history of the message. It's really awesome. And then it's documents for them what happened, and they can look through it, and or salesman could grab it, whatever, however you want to send it out. So I'm going to save that. So I'm going to make this a custom field because if I don't, and you guys don't change it, then this snapshot is all going to come to me, I think, and I don't want that. No, I don't know if it goes through with snapshots. Yeah, let's do that real quick. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to make a custom field real quick. I'm going to go to settings, custom variable, sorry. New value, and we'll call it contact name. Or, yeah, contact. Not contact name. Let's see, client name. Okay, so the client full name will be Josh Rosenfeld. You'll put your name here or the client's name there or whatever. And then we're gonna do one more, and it's gonna be client email. And so I am using my email, but these will be blank when you get the snapshots, so don't forget to fill these in. Okay, so now all I gotta do, and we'll be done for the day. I want to grab client email variable and put it here. And I want to get the from name. And put it here. I got to make another custom field actually. The two. So that's the client email and the from name. Let me do this. This will be better. Oop. So now you can have two different ones, a from email and a to email, which is what you want. I'm sending it from and to myself, but you wouldn't want you usually would say Picasso paints, and then info Picasso paints or whatever. Then the other one would be the client, whoever wants to get the summary, the manager, the rep, whatever. Okay, so let's do that again. So the from email copy, from name copy, and then to custom email is client email. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay, and you could test it. I'm going to save it and publish it and save it. All right, we're good. So, yep. Tomorrow we'll finalize bot, which means testing, summary, step. Are there any questions before we wrap up? Awesome. Okay, so good job, everyone. If you've been paying attention, thank you very much. I will see. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. And tomorrow's the last night, so we're gonna wrap this up. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye.
So.
See ya.
Bye.